Okay, further adventures in fingerpicking. What we're going to do today is we're going to combine some what they call upper triads, which are these little 3-note chords on the first 3 strings, with our steady thumb. So let me show you what we're going to use for triads. We're going to use 3 different shapes. A D shape, which looks like a D chord. These are all on these 3 strings, first 3 strings. The other shape I call an F shape because it looks like an F chord, but just the first 3 strings of that chord. So for example, if we play the 3rd fret on the first 2, 4th fret, that's actually a G chord, believe it or not. You should know that, but if you don't, you do now. And we can move that. All of these we can move around. And then the 3rd shape we're going to use is, it comes from an A chord shape down here. But for example, if we wanted to play a D chord with that shape, we'd go to the 5th fret. I'll get a little closer here. Here we are on the 5th fret on the first string, and then the 7th fret on these next 2, like this. Okay, so that's 5, 7, 7. And I'm using my index, my pinky on the B string, and my ring finger on the G string. So what I'm going to do is go through 3 basic chords in the key of key of D, excuse me, D, G, and A. So we're going to go up the neck using those 3 shapes. So we start with a D, and I'm just hitting these first 3 strings here. Then we go to a G chord, which is this F shape on the 3rd fret. Then we go to the 5th fret F shape, which is an A chord. And then we go to that A shape, this shape that we just did. That's a D chord. That's on the 5th fret, 5th and 7th. Then we go to a D chord on the 7th fret, that's a G. We move up to the 9th fret, that's an A. And lastly, we go back to that F shape on the 10th fret, and we get a D. So going through that again slowly, we get D, G, using the F shape, A, using the F shape, 5th fret, D, using the A shape on the 5th fret, G chord, using the D shape on the 7th fret, A chord using the D shape on the 9th fret, and final D chord using the F shape on the 10th fret. So what we're going to do now is we're in dropped D. I should have mentioned that earlier. So we're going to start our thumb doing back and forth between the low, which is now a D string, the 6th string, and the 4th string. And we're going to start out, every time we hit this low string, we're going to play these first 3 strings. Either I play them with 3 fingers like this. You can swipe them like this. Use 2 fingers. You just want to get just those 3. You don't want to get the D string or the A string. So we get that going, and we're going to go like this. So I just went right up those chords. I went D, G, A, D, G, pardon me, A, D. So I'm doing all those at the same time I'm playing my low D string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, now let's try doing it off the beat like this. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. So Okay, you get the idea? Now we can start combining these two techniques, playing what I call a pinch, which is the same, playing all of them together, or playing offbeat, which means your thumb is always doing steadily on the beat, but your fingers, your triad, comes off the beat. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So here's a combination pattern which you could learn. It goes like this. I'll focus on the, on the right hand. We're gonna go 1 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3. So on the first beat, I pinch them all together, and the thumb, 1, 2. Then after that thumb, I play these first 3. That's what they call the and of 2. 1, 2 and 3, 4. So I combine that with my chords. Back up a little bit here. So as you can maybe tell, there's lots of possibilities here. You can start creating different rhythms. I'm trying to think, there's a what's that song? It should be like this. That's a popular tune, you may or may not know, but there I'm keeping the thumb just steadily on just the low string, but still steady instead of alternating. That's alternating. Here we are just on the bass note. Okay, so try to just goof around. See, you can move those chords around. That's that D chord I showed you on the 5th fret, the D, the 5th, 7, 7. Drop it a whole step down and you get a C chord. So it's the same thing, but move to the 3rd fret. Go practice.